Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers, the day after that magnificent tour yesterday, the bus parade. What an experience, you know. We've seen pictures of the past of Bobby Moore at East Ham Town Hall with a Cup Winners' Cup and Billy Bonds with his FA Cup. You know, they're pictures that will last a lifetime. Yesterday, you know, just brilliant to see Dex up there with a trophy and Bowen, and you know, when they actually got into Stratford, I wasn't at Stratford, my nephew was, and he said it was unreal, you know, once they actually got on the stage and did their thing. As I keep saying, guys, soak up every minute and enjoy every minute of it, because we don't know when it will happen again, if it will happen again. Today's video is sort of a carry on from yesterday with the Declan Rice stuff. A little bit that I missed actually in the interview with David Sullivan. He went on to more or less say that David Moyes stays for another year. You know, I think how he was leaking stuff yesterday, he would have said, you know, if Moyes was going to walk away, and he said, you know, he stays one more year. He's got one more year left in his contract, and then we'll look at it again in the summer. Listen, I've been Moyes out the whole time, and I still ideally would like a change. I understand why you have to keep him, or sort of why he's staying, because, you know, they can't exactly sack him. You know, they can't sack him. They probably would prefer if he was to walk away, which I don't think it looks like he's going to do. So they can't sack him. It wouldn't look good in the media. And if it was to come back and bite him, and say, for example, we did get relegated next year with a new manager, or it started really, really bad, then it just wouldn't look great. So I understand it. I'm not pleased with it, but yeah, you know, any other team you'd be going, I don't understand why West Ham are sacking him. But we've seen, you know, the 20 losses in the league, the poor football, and it's just, yeah, like I say, do I fully trust him with the Rice money when he gets the Rice money, Moyesy? I don't know. You know, I think this summer it needed to be, you know, a complete change. That we're in a really good place in terms of, you know, having an opportunity to attract a decent level manager, you know, selling Rice, and then allowing that new manager to bring in his new players and new philosophy to the club. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be Moyesy again. And the problem is, for Moyes now, if, let's say, worst case scenario, 10 games into the season, we have a situation like we did last year where we're not playing well, and, you know, things are not going our way. You know, they're going to be calling for his name again, and then he tarnishes his legacy. Where if he would have, you know, walked away the end of this week or next week, you know, he can go down in history as, you know, a manager hero for West Ham. But unfortunately now that looks like it's not going to be the case. Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't like managers going into the last year of their contract either. You know, it means that he's only thinking about that year rather than, you know, going into it thinking about, you know, the future of the club. If he doesn't take, you know, if he doesn't get a new contract, a new manager will be left with, you know, just what he's got really. Where, I don't know, you've either got to give him like another 2-3 year contract and let him sort of try and build again and, you know, go again with Europa League, or you've got to bring in a new manager who's going to, you know, completely transition the team into a new philosophy. Otherwise, like I say, you're buying David Moyes players for a David Moyes that's not going to be there after next summer. Yeah, it's a bit of a sticky one. Like I say, it's a sticky one. You know, and topics that I don't really want to cover at the minute, because I'm in such a good mood and in such a good place with West Ham at the minute. But yeah, I think loads is going to happen over the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks with Rice, and, you know, and whether we bring the players in before Rice goes, like, a bit like how Villa did with Grealish. You know, they got players in and then he left. Yeah, be interesting to see when the bids actually come in what we do as a club, and whether we, you know, allow clubs to talk to him, and how long it will actually take to get up to the sort of level of bid that we require. Just going to leave you with a couple of shots of the in a minute. There we go, looks beautiful. And when that trophy, you know, when we bring that trophy back, that first game of the season next year, it's going to be a good one. Anyway guys, staying with the channel, like I say, doesn't stop really, because the fixtures come out next week and the transfer window, you know, is open. So you know, news will be thick and fast now, and anything that does come out, I'll be making a video about it. And be sure to, you know, check us out. Until next time, guys, come on you irons, keep believing. Let's go.